Hello and welcome to another Algebra 1 video. And this time we're going to be using multiplication and division to solve inequalities. And I'm just going to say one thing before I start the video is that solving inequalities is just exactly like solving equalities, except what you're doing is replacing the equal sign with an inequality sign. So noting that, let's solve this inequality over here. 2x is greater than 3 over 4. Well, that's easy. You're just multiplying both sides by 1 over 2 because you're trying to have just x on one side. You're isolating x. So when I do that, I should get x is greater than 3 over 8. So any value for which x is greater than 3 over 8, that inequality stands true. Let's look at another problem. This problem, I'm not going to use multiplication. I think I'm actually going to use division because I want to isolate y, and to do that you should divide both sides by 1.1 because you're multiplying y by 1.1. So yeah. So when I divide this by 1.1 and I divide this by 1.1, I should get y is less than 4. And the way I'm doing this so quickly is literally because I am not considering the inequality sign over here. I just forget it and I solve like it's a normal equation, and that just helps me solve it really fast. So if you're struggling with this, just think of it like that. So now we've been solving these inequalities with positive multiplication and positive number division. But say I had a negative number. So when you have a negative number like this, you have to consider what side is this negative number on. Well, here the negative number is on the side with the variable. Don't think of it like right side or left side. Think of it of the side with the variable and the side without the variables. So since it's on the side with the variables, there's actually a trick to solving this inequality. So I have negative 2 over 9 x, which is greater than or equal to 2. So now what I'm trying to do here is, as normal, isolate x, right? So you just multiply this by negative 9 over 2, the reciprocal of this function, or this expression. But since I am actually multiplying by a negative number on both sides, you have to flip your inequality when you solve it. So that would mean x is less than or equal to negative 9. It's not greater than or equal to, it is less than or equal to, because I am multiplying or dividing by a negative number on both sides. This rule only applies for inequalities, and always note that when it's greater than and you're multiplying and dividing by a negative number, it would become less than. And then if it's greater than or equal to, it would become less than or equal to, and vice versa for both of those cases. So let's take a look at this one last problem. And here you can see that the negative number is being multiplied or divided by the variable on the variable side, not the side without the variable. So I'm going to actually rewrite this equation out like this because it makes more sense to me. Honestly, you can do whatever works for you as long as you do the right math and you get the right answer. So now here, since this term over here is being divided by negative 4, I'll just multiply it by negative 4. And that should equal n is less than. It is less than, not greater than, because I am multiplying both sides by a negative number. N should be less than negative 16. It can be greater than because since I'm multiplying or dividing by a negative number, the inequality has to flip. Now let's take a look at just actually one last case, just one last one. And this one, I want to talk about it because say I had n is 2n actually is greater than or equal to negative 4. Here you have to check which side is the negative number on. Well, this negative number is on the non-variable side. So that means I would just solve this equation normally. I just divide both sides. Oops, wrong color. I just divide both sides by 2 and I should get negative 2. And you should also remember you have to always look for which side the negative number is on. So that's also a very key rule when you're solving for these inequalities. And even if you're not sure about yourself after you solve an inequality, you can check if you screwed over or not by testing your inequality out. So let's see, let's take a random value greater than -2. I'm going to use 0 because 0 is actually a really easy value to substitute into in all equations and inequalities. So 2 times 0 has to be greater than greater than -4. And 0, I'm pretty sure, is greater than -4. So since this stands true, my solution is right. So that's going to be it for today's video. I would practice, 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 as I always say. Just practice is the key to success and mastering these sort of concepts. That's going to be it for today. I'll try to upload regularly, and thank you. Bye-bye.